Welcome to part 13 of Sonic Adventure 2. And now we're back with Rouge the Bat, and we're in the egg quarters. Now I know what you're.
Ooh, got keys.
Wait, yep. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, this is just Death Chamber. Why are we back in Death Chamber? Oh no, this is not. This isn't a complete copy of Death Chamber. In fact, it's actually a little smaller than Death Chamber. Not by much, but it is a bit noticeable.
Ugh, if this was as big as Death Chamber, that would be so hard.
Especially with that one gun
The
that one beetle robot that's constantly stalking you. Yeah, it's pretty annoying.
Yeah, it is actually. I mean, I think it's cool to give it like a twist, but oh man, every time it comes by, I'm like, oh, can you go away?
Yeah, away, away. But anyway, something we haven't talked about yet is the music for Rouge's stages. This is another one of those rare stages. These are another one of these rare stages that don't use a lot of rock. Rouge's stages, the music for her stages, is mostly jazz.
Yep.
I'm not super. Sorry.
love-
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I love this style. I love like the very quiet scatting that they do, like the whisper scatting.
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
think it's so fitting for Rouge. I love it. I want to see more styles I want to see more Rouge music with this style.
Plus, if I'm being honest, I think you're just a big fan of jazz in general. So yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, I think you would really love the soundtrack to Persona 5 because most, if not all, of that music is jazz.
I know everyone tells me that too. I do need to sit down and listen to it.
I can probably send you a song from that game later if you want.
Okay.
And don't worry, I promise it won't be less surprised because I'm sure you've heard that song more times than enough.
I have.
But anyway, as for what I think of the themes for Rouge's stages, they're fine, but they're not my favorite stage themes. Now, maybe this is because I'm not super into jazz. Like, don't get me wrong, I think jazz is a perfectly fine music genre, but it's just not one of my personal favorites is all. It's definitely way better than country, I'll tell you that. Like, because I...
Most things are.
Okay, true. Also, there you go again, almost laughing like Princess Peach. But don't worry, it's okay. At least you're not doing a fake laugh like you attempted to do in the hero story.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
All that matters is that you're being yourself.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway, we are almost done with this stage, and oh yeah, something I forgot to mention again in the hero story. The exclamation mark that you see when you're right on top of the key or item you're finding,
There it is.
that was added in that again was added in battle. That wasn't in the Dreamcast version. So the treasure,
Which is.
yeah, like the treasure hunting. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I remember like, so I played Battle first, but then when I eventually had gotten the chance to finally play the Dreamcast version, I was like, good lord, how am I supposed to find it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird when you grow up playing a later version of the game, only to find out that it was a little different in an older version of the game.
I mean, it's kind of cool, in my opinion,
Yeah, it is
to
cool.
like, it's cool to spot the differences, right?
Yeah, in fact,
But like this,
yeah, it's fun with not just Sonic games, but a lot of games in general, because
Yeah.
I've actually played the original Devil May Cry on both the original PS2 release as well as its HD re-releases, and I've noticed that there were some effects in the PS2 version that for some reason were not emulated correctly for the HD version, so that's a thing.
That makes sense.
Anyway, now we're in Lost Colony. This is Eggman's third stage, and this stage is actually, again, harder in the Dreamcast version, because in the Dreamcast version, this stage is actually pretty dark.
You can barely see anything.
Yeah. In fact, I'm not sure if it's because it's the Dreamcast itself, or just a lighting issue, or something else. I don't want to believe it's the Dreamcast, but some part of me kind of might end up thinking that way because this one Dreamcast game that I remember you telling me about, Metropolis Street Racer. I've actually played that game mostly because when you told me about it and I did some research on it, I was like, oh, this is actually like the predecessor to Project Gotham Racing, another series of racing games. So and plus the music is pretty good, and it was done, you know, by Richard Jacques, and T.J. Davis did some work on it as well.
Hmm.
But I played it, and I want to like the game, but if I'm being honest, it's honestly one of the most frustrating racing games I've ever played, because I think the requirements for just progressing is way too strict, and the lighting, specifically for the night racing, is terrible. You can barely see where you're going, especially when you're trying to make a hard turn. Like,
And
and it's kind of important in a racing game. You need to be able to see what's ahead of you. Really, that's just a requirement for any game where you have to go fast. Like, not even just racing games, but even Sonic games, you know?
Mhm.
When you gotta go fast, you also have to be able to see where you're going and see what's ahead of you. Yet another reason why I think 3D Sonic is better than 2D Sonic, because in 2D, you can't really see
Right.
much ahead of you, but in 3D, because the camera's behind the character, you can see
Correct.
exactly what's ahead of you, and you have way more time to react to what's coming up ahead.
Louder for the people in the back.
Hmm. Wait, what did you say?
I said louder for the people in the back, which means I agree with you.
Ah, okay. There we go. But as far as the music for Eggman stages go, unlike Tails' stage themes, which I think had some really good themes, if I'm being honest, I think Eggman's stage themes probably has some of the most forgettable songs in the game. I don't know.
Correct.
I don't know why. There's just some. I don't really remember much of the themes for Eggman stage themes. Like, they're not.
Neither do I, because they're very forgettable.
Yeah. In fact, Shadow the Hedgehog soundtrack kind of suffered from similar issues.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just based on like the style of the songs. So like Sonic's got like the rock. Shadow also has rock. Tails has rock mixed with some electronic sounds to
Wh-
kind of give it that like
Which
techie.
which I love, because I love electronic rock.
Yeah, it's really cool. I really like the Tails ones.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you got Knuckles with the raps, and you got Rouge with the jazz, and then you just got like Eggman with like I don't even like. I mean, I guess it's rock, but it's like very forgettable stuff.
It's very slow. It's like Eggman stage themes are very slow compared to all the other stage themes.
Like I can only think of one song, and I think it's actually this one.
Same here, but most of the music that I remember, most of the instruments I remember for the song, aren't really even the guitar. It's mostly the echoey kind of sounding instrument sound effects.
Yep, I agree. Same.
Yeah, it's a very quiet sounding theme. It's yet another reason why it's not super memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Although as for the Eggman's levels themselves, I personally do think they are, for the most part anyway, better designed than Tails' stages. But I'll have to admit that there are some stages that I think Tails does better than Eggman, and, you know, vice versa. But I digress. That being said, this stage, it's a perfectly fine stage. It's not. I don't think it's a great stage, but it's not really a bad stage either. It's passable. It's just enough to pass.
For me, it's just kind of a forgettable stage. I don't know.
And that's understandable. It's definitely one of the more bland stages in the game. So yeah.
I'll be honest. Whenever I play Sonic Adventure 2, the only stages I forget about are the Eggman stages.
Oh, I know, but that's probably because unless okay, do forgive me if I'm assuming wrong, but Eggman is not one of your favorite characters, is he?
I mean, maybe not one of my favorites, but I do love Eggman. I'll be honest with you, like.
Okay.
I love, but like, I don't know, like it's just I just thought his stages were kind of like the music was like I wasn't enjoying the music that much, and like most of the stages for Eggman are really dark.
Not all of them, but yeah.
Not all of them, but most of them at least. And so I was just like, I don't know. Half the time I was just like, all right, I just want to finish this as fast as I can so I can play Shadow or Rouge.
Yeah, I think only 3 of Eggman's stages are really dark, and that would be the first 3 stages we've already seen. Because Eggman, sorry.
5 Eggman, or there's 6?
5. Eggman has 5 stages.
To think about that, that's more than half of the stage is being kind of dark, though. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
just barely, but yeah, because Eggman's next two stages are actually pretty brightly lit.
Mhm.
So yeah, so here we are. So Shadow, he has a plan. You have to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds to activate the Eclipse Cannon, a weapon powerful enough to destroy an entire planet. And then the world could be yours. I really do like David Humphrey's delivery of that line.
I love David Humphrey as Shadow.
David Humphrey's my second favorite voice for Shadow. Again, my favorite is still Jason Griffith because, again, he's the one I grew up with, but I still really like David Humphrey. He's definitely way better than Kirk Thornton, that's for sure.
Whew. Oh yeah.
And here we are with Rouge the Bat. This is when it's revealed that I think she decides to work with Rouge and work with Eggman and Shadow. Actually, is it revealed later or no? Okay, maybe not. No, not just yet. I think we don't see Rouge's origins until I think in a later part. But
Yeah,
yeah,
not yet.
but yeah. S Oh man, now I'm just running out of things to talk about. Hang on,
Okay.
I actually made some notes on the Adventure 2 commentary to talk about things we haven't
That
talked
kick.
about before. So yeah.
Did you
Oh,
see that kick she did?
I
It was
know,
beautiful.
and I know and I know you really love it.
I comment on it like every time I see the kick. I'm
Not
like, oh, I got
not
a kick.
not on the kick, not on the kick, but maybe just something that involves Rouge.
That's fair. I love Rouge. She's my mummy.
God damn it, Emmy. Of course you had. Of course you had to. You had to. Rouge is your mama. I get it.
Yep.
But I just think Shadow is the coolest.
It's okay. I understand. Shadow's really cool too.
He's the coolest. But anyway, to kind of go back to Rouge, we're gonna see it in just a few seconds. But there's one bit of facial animation that I really like for Rouge. It's coming up in just a second. There it is.
Yeah.
I like how she does that little half wink. How she's just like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah, it's so cute.
I love the facial animations in Sonic Adventure 2. They may not match the English dialogue, but you can tell that they're very expressive. And for a Dreamcast game, I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Anyway, that was part 13 of Sonic Adventure 2. Tune in to part 14, where we once again see more of Eggman and Rouge. I'm sorry, but Shadow's going to have to wait for a few more parts, so see you then.
It's all good.